Orbs are quartz core plasma motors. Yup, beautiful, advanced, and undeniably real, running on the infinite power of piezoelectricity, extracted from quartz crystals, not demons, sorry. Nope, not ghosts either.
Dead fish, this is going to go to how you got that picture of the crystal itself shooting off energy. So, yeah, trust me, your day's coming, man. You got crystals and everything, and we're going to prove out a lot of these theories. We've cured a lot of problems that go on in circuits, let me just tell you it that way. So, right on, brother.
What did you call the object? What was your nickname for it?
So we didn't have a nickname. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit later, but Arrow, their office nickname was for this object was the crystalline potato.
Crystalline potato.
Oh yeah, we came within contact. There were three objects. We were in the middle of almost like a diamond type of thing, and our pyramid.
It's almost like some kind of skinny tube, diamond-shaped thing with like something underneath it. I don't know, but it begins to rotate, and you actually realize that it's not a saucer at all. You can see it spinning here, and now look at it. This thing seems to be like a skinny, long diamond.
Beautiful crystals.
I noticed that what I thought was a bright star, though, on the western horizon. It was unusually bright, so I kept watching it.
Class 6 is Bright Star. That one vibrates very, very fast. It literally looks like a crystal in the sky.
It started moving towards me, and I was like, okay, it's a plane, because, we get a lot of planes in our area, but before I knew it, it got closer. The light got super bright, and before I realized it, this massive diamond-shaped craft was gliding over me, no sound at all, 50 to 100 feet above me, with 4 white lights on each corner. This thing, I'm not even lying, was 1 to 2 football fields long. It was massive. But as it passed over, it was like this super low vibration moving through my head, and I was almost paralyzed. Like I wanted to reach for my phone and take a picture, but I couldn't do nothing.
Regarding an engagement over the Gulf of Mexico with 4 unidentified objects in a diamond-shaped formation.
First thing he says was black. He said it looked like it was a shiny, he called it diamond black. I don't know why he said diamond black, but he says it looked like a shiny diamond because he said the top of it, it wasn't like a flat triangle. He says the top of it was kind of like a pyramid, but it wasn't a full pyramid. It's like as if like it went in and then it went up. So he goes, I could see that there was something on the top that was pointy. And he said the texture, it was so close that he was able to look at it and said it looked like little bricks. Like little rectangular black diamond texture. That's what he called it.
2 witnesses were out hiking. They then saw a large diamond-shaped craft.
It had kind of a diamond-type crystal right in the middle of the bottom.
But either way, if you notice, it's lighting up the quartz.
That's cool.
Significantly more than it's lighting up the rest of the environment. So
exactly, yeah. That's unique to get that much light in the surrounding quartz like that.
The fact that they're all lighting up says something about its resonant properties. I bet you this particular RAV, however it's configured, would probably build inside of that quartz and be less likely to blow it up than mine did,
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think. I mean, for that to be lit up that brightly from that distance without it being focused in any way on it, just pick up the ambient light, I think that that's a stretch to say that that's not triboluminescence. It's not easy to excite quartz into triboluminescence. It's really not. It takes a good amount of force.
Let's see. This is from Orange Orbs. which matches this question. I saw an orb closely, and I believe it is made of crystals. Sarah also said she thought they were crystals. Does she still believe that? I'm not sure what he's referring to, or she.
Yeah, no, I totally have. Thank you for that question. I have bounced around between thinking, yes, there's some sort of like crystal maybe we don't have on this planet, or maybe we don't know how to utilize them in that form, or like a plasma type energy, but that I can't talk about in too depth on. on.
Can't talk about in too depth
on. I do still stand by that some of them are crystals. I do think they're not all the same material. And I know there's different colors. I've seen orange and I've also seen blue, and one of them that kind of turned from like a blue to, of course, like blue and purple are really close on the visible spectrum, right? They overlap. So it kind of like morphed into a couple of those colors. Yes, some of them are definitely crystal.
Okay.
What amazes me about this video is that, I mean, if you were to tell somebody this is 60,000 volts, they would be like, oh, let me pick it up, because it doesn't look like much. It just shows you how incredible. Now you see a RAV in there, but honestly, it's almost just like a little LEDs in there. So that fascinates me. Anything you guys want to share on this one before I go to the next video?
I want to say real quick, Deadfish is loving what's going on here because we're showing a bunch of crystal.
Yes, some of them are definitely crystal.
Okay.
And if you know anything about him, man, you know he loves that stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very
I don't
cool.
even know if Deadfish saw this thing that I found. Did I don't know if I showed him that. If he was here. Look at that. That's a piece of quartz.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
That's a huge piece of quartz.
That's cool. And it has the same typical pattern where it starts blue, then yellow, then orangish yellow, and it gets brighter and brighter until it turns white.
They would give me pieces of UFOs, and I would come to my laboratories. I had the laboratories of Lockheed and every place else. For example, I have 3 little pieces of UFOs down underneath the thing that looks like a quartz crystal. Notice that that is my hand, and it is giving weight. It says that it weighs 100 grams. Notice that the 3 UFO items are gone. But also notice that the weight of the crystal is now 650 grams. And I go to a standard voltmeter, and notice that in my voltmeter I am getting a total voltage of 249 volts out of 1 rock. So we're able to obtain voltages and anti-gravity, and we don't know why, but the crystal appears to be colored rose, and we can't figure out why yet.
And then there is a craft just floating there. It is a saucer, almost like a top-shaped craft, but there's paneling removed from the bottom where he sees, similar, I know how interested you are in Bob Lazar, an inverted cone type thing. He doesn't know what this is, no idea, but it's like an inverted triangle cone that seems to be free-floating in the bottom little jutting out part of the saucer.
We're seeing was the dome on that pronounced little spot on the bottom.
Oh, there was
where it looked like it was. There had to be some kind of an energy cell there.
So
because,
that's what you saw.
Yeah, it's kind of red on the bottom, so you could. And I've seen another one that was that same way, so I know that's got to be the energy. That was the energy field holding this thing up.
An inverted cone type thing.
And then that dome was down at the bottom where you can see that red glow. So I know that's got to be the propulsion system. and how this thing goes. But who knows? Magnetic levitation. I don't know. Some kind of. But Dad said they saw it again, and it was closer up. This time they could see it flying. Dad got a good look at it. Same kind of a red-looking power signature or whatever that was on the bottom. I remember because the one I seen, I just saw the bottom of it, but you could see it. It looked like it was just like molten lava on the bottom of this thing.
At the bottom of it, looking at it, it looks like looking into a volcano when you see reddish and black.
The lava.
Bubbling, lava bubbling or whatever. That's what it looked like under the bottom of it.
But it was a wedge-shaped craft.
Wedge-shaped.
Wedge-shaped, like triangular, but like a wedge. Like I don't know how else to describe it. I could draw it for you if you want. You want me to draw it?
Sure, you can.
Yeah. So give me a second.
So just like a wedge that you would like split wood with, like that kind of a wedge.
Yeah, but it was silver metallic. And like a diamond, maybe. That's a better way to describe it. Like a diamond almost.
And it kind of sounds how this looks. Like there's this thing that is like a stone's throw above their car. And it's just kind of like sort of sitting there, kind of wobbling a little bit. But it's orange. They describe it as orange. And that this thing is just like right there.
It had like a UFO like ship. Yeah, it was like a diamond like that. And it was light beaming down. And then they engraved stars into the top.
Well, it was about 20 feet high, about 14 feet wide. It was a diamond-shaped object.
It looked like a diamond.
What looked like a diamond?
Class 6 is bright star. That one vibrates very, very fast. It literally looks like a crystal in the sky.
Can you draw it for me?
Forever burned in my brain like we saw that night. So it was sort of like very elongated front of it, like very pointed. It come down almost like a diamond shape.
Another explanation is the piezoelectric effect. And when quartz crystals are placed under stress, like from tectonic activity, they can produce an enormous amount of electricity.
If everybody says, well, it was a diamond shaped and it all rotated in certain colour sequence, if they all say the same thing and it's confirmed on airborne and ground radar, then something was physically there.
Oh my God. He describes it as a diamond-shaped object, approximately 16 feet by 20 feet.
That's the diamond, John. You see that, right?
Yep.
Starting with what witnesses are calling the hovering diamond over Temecula, California, November 26th of 2025. This is a strange craft which witnesses say resembled a diamond and seemed to be ascending into the sky. However, it was ascending so slowly that at first they couldn't tell, so they call it the hovering diamond. Take a look. Fascinating. It reminds me of the orange diamond that looked like the surface of the sun in Siberia. And the weird diamond-shaped UFO we saw the other day that looked like a hologram. Some strange stuff is happening in our skies.
And then a second craft appeared, and this one I could see all of the details on it. It was like a diamond-shaped craft, so it was pretty close, and it had a row of red and greenish blue lights going across it.
December 7th, 2025. An unidentified flying object was recorded over Medellin, Colombia. The witness described a large diamond-shaped disc rotating as it ascended vertically into the sky. A visible flame-like light appeared beneath the object, while the atmosphere around it distorted in unusual patterns.
Is that? It's like a diamond shape. Bro, what the fuck is that?
Yo, that's not a balloon. That's too big to be.
Bro, that's like a diamond shape.
Look at that shit. That's a perfect shape.
Bro, what is that? It's like rotating.
It's rotating?
Yes, look.
Well, it was, like I say, to me, it was like a diamond shape with flames coming out the bottom. Not just massive flames, just the whole thing looked radiated bright orange.
It looked like a diamond.
A diamond? Does it have any lights blinking on and off?
No.
Was it a white light?
No, it looked like fire. Well, I just had a feeling to look up in the sky. Then I looked around a little bit more and I saw that object. It looked like a diamond. It lit up the whole sky.
Everyone, I'm Kobe Landrum. Some may know me of the Cash Landrum incident and the wild redneck from Texas. Doing something a little different. I'm going to start a YouTube channel, discussions of UFO and my encounter. Well, as many people ask for this, not really into it, but we're going to work it out. See where this goes, and here's the Kobe channel. I'll come back now. Yeah. Well, I got a new buddy that I've met. We'll go with the name Billy right now. He talked me into doing this little channel, and hell, we're going to give it a go. See how it goes. Y'all bear with me. Well, Billy, we'll stick with first names. We're going to give this a go. I told you from day one you'd be my business partner, and probably need to get old sis involved. We're going to need an attorney. Well, good morning, and welcome back to the Cash Landrum channel. Just letting you know that we're trying to take a different approach about this that I have in years, and I'm trying to open up and actually, I guess first of all, I'll give y'all a little insight. I'm Kobe Landrum. I'm the last known survivor to the Cash Landrum incident. Is well renowned, and over the years, it's been something that I didn't want to discuss, but here we go about it. And as we get older, we try to get wiser, and I want to try to get this back out there and try to get answers on it. Hell, who knows? People change. I believe. Like I say, I'm just trying to get back out there and I guess honor my grandmother and Betty Cass that are no longer with us and continue to try to find answers to what happened. First off, I'd like to tell everybody that I apologize for the way that I've approached this whole deal in the past. I approached it with anger, and as we get older, I guess where I stand in my life right now is, I've made a whole lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm really trying to patch it up. And instead of being a recluse from the whole UFO encounter, I'm gonna, first of all, I'd like to say I love my country, and this isn't about being anti-government or going against the grain. It's about finding truth and what happened. Just bear with me, I'm gonna put a lot more effort into this. It's something that I really want to do. Maybe later write a book, but I'm gonna continue to try to find the truth. Most of you know that, hell, I'd rather jack off a polar bear with a handful of cockleburrs than talk about the UFO encounter. One thing you're going to get, I'm going to be me, and love me or hate me. I'd really like to get everybody that's ever had a question for me involved. First of all, apologize to anybody that I've ever been rude to about this. I know they're just curious, I just, I really was a recluse about it. Son of a bitches ain't killed me yet. So, I love my country. I don't love standing on lies. I don't think that's how we can teach our kids to tell the truth. If the government is leading, I totally understand some things that you can't tell the general public because for the most part, people go batshit crazy and lose their mind. I do understand that. I feel like maybe that if they had been more truthful about it, who knows? It could have put more time on my grandmother's life, Betty's life. And who knows how much time I got left. I don't know what the radiation exposure done. I'm just going to take a different approach about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to get into this a little more and try to figure out how to bring in Q&A. I'd like to reach out to some of my people. Kevin Barry, I'm going to reach out. Just letting y'all know it will be a rusty start, but we're going to get off into the UFO stories. I'm even going to talk about ones that are newer and fresh. We'll talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Finances, I don't care. Just like I said, I'm gonna be reaching out to some of my past producers, like Kevin Barry. He was my producer with Ancient Aliens, and he did me a fine job, Kevin. I appreciate all the hard work that you put into that and the kindness you showed me. Just
So it's affecting every one of these, pretty much everything in the electromagnetic spectrum that
Yeah.
you know, that can.
This particular Dead Fish Cheese Spread, I really like his comments. He's been a good commentator through the several months I've been around. I like this guy. Don't tell him I said that; it'll swell his fat head. But he says he's seen an orb, and he is suggesting that it's a huge crystal or some kind of a material like that, and the flickering of the light within the crystal, because the flick, and then this gentleman is saying that the flickering is the propulsion system. Would that kind of, yes, the orb is the engine, they're saying. Would that kind of be in line with what you're seeing? Would that help explain this idea of the distorting, the gravitational lensing?
Well, both those perspectives are interesting because if you have a polyhedral shaped object, it's got a multifaceted flat, multiple flat faces of multiple flat planes. You can certainly cause a glinting of light, almost like a disco ball appearance. So you can have that lighting effect. And then, of course, you can have the same lighting effect with a gravitational lensing.
Right.
So they're both interesting, and they both may be occurring, most likely occurring at the same time.
Yeah, and you get a prismatic effect. It's possible that you're separating different wavelengths of light at that point, depending on the angles themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, white light's going to come back at a certain angle. Red light one extreme, blue light on the other extreme. They all have their own angle of incidence. So that's going to be, you'll be able to see. It's looking through like a polarizing filter, and you can see these changes.
And ask yourself, what could this be? And narrow it down to really being confident that this is something that's unexplainable. But what I was watching, I was like, for sure, this is an orb. It was like a big white ball of fire almost.
It's almost like crystals, isn't it?
Like a diamond, maybe. That's a better way to describe it. Like a diamond almost.
And it had this sword. It looked like it was made of very beautiful crystals. Beautiful crystals. Like not crystals, it wasn't plural. It was like one object. It looked like some from a sci-fi movie, but it was like glowing and it was like kind of changing.
Like a diamond, maybe. That's a better way to describe it. Like a diamond almost.
I do still stand by that some of them are crystal.
Like a diamond, maybe. That's a better way to describe it. Like a diamond almost.
Basically, they're working in anti-gravity, and therefore our effort is anti-gravity. 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 Our effort is anti-gravity.